Welcome to this episode of The Wave. I'm your host, Don Texan, and with me are my co-host, Jessica. Where are you,
Uh,
Jessica? You're outside somewhere?
yeah, I'm on my baby daddy's property right now. It's like a huge 5 acres, so he's watching the toddler today, and I'm outside.
Well, there you go. That's a nice
Yeah.
way to self-isolate. And we have Carol Ann. Where are you, Carol Ann? You're home?
Hello, how are you?
Are you home?
Yes.
Okay. And of course, with us today, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Hi, everybody.
Cindy Solda, who is a prominent community influencer, a promoter, and works in a family-owned business that's been here in the Valley since 1969, of course. One of the first places I visited when I first got here was Solda's. And Cindy is also one of our city councilors and has been involved in many organizations in Port Alberni and in the province. And on a personal note, Cindy was the director of Portal Player Dramatic Society's production of Mamma Mia, which was a big hit last year. I thank God we did it last year. Can
Yes.
you believe we did it this year? I mean, oh my God, all that work. Anyway, I'm so glad I have been part of it. And Cindy warned us at the beginning of the production or the rehearsals that we would hate her after this. No, I didn't. I loved you even more, Cindy. Well, anyway, I was so glad to be able to be a part of that wonderful production. Anyway, getting on to the current issue. Cindy, you've been self-isolating since when?
I think it's been about since the 25th or the 21st when we closed the restaurant.
Oh, so you, there was a bit of controversy at the time because some restaurants were closing, you weren't closing yet, and there were some people questioning your decision. Would you care to explain a little bit about that?
Sure, we were waiting for the provincial government to come and say, hey, you need to close. We were following all the guidelines that the provincial government put out at first. And then as soon as the announcement came, I made a call to the restaurant saying we have to close, and we closed.
Okay, so Solda's has been closed since the 25th, you say?
21st.
The 21st.
About the 21st.
Okay, that's
We-
about
we
the
were
time
open
I
on the
also went into
Friday,
my
we
own
closed.
self-isolation.
Yeah, we were open on the Friday, and that morning the government announced we closed. And
Oh, I
everything
see.
that was in our coolers, because we were stocked up, ready to keep going, right? So we actually gave all the cooler stuff, we dished some out to the staff, and then we took it all over to the shelter. from
Oh,
there.
okay. So
Awesome.
how are you enjoying your self-isolation, spending time with what are you doing, like writing, meditating?
Yeah, okay. I'm spending it with me, myself, and I, and doing a lot of baking like everybody else.
Oh, baking.
Oh, yuck. So I just finished baking chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Yeah.
Carol has been baking herself. You've been making banana bread, haven't you, Carol Ann?
Yeah, and today I had apples, so I made apple crisps. And yeah,
Ooh.
I'm trying not to eat it, but it's hard.
All the sweets. I managed to
Yeah.
stay away from sweets. I know how
But
to
I
bake,
walked
but
today.
I'd rather not.
I'm allowed.
So, Carol, you have the next question?
I'm just wondering how you're coping with, like, what's your personal experience been so far with staying home and social distancing? Because you have, like, community relations to do too.
Yeah, and so what I've done a Facebook, like a Facebook web, and I talk to people. I actually take coffee, and I sit down and I talk on Facebook, with FaceTime with everybody, and we talk about if there's any issues in the community. I get a lot of emails about what the government's doing, how do I go and apply, and different aspects from the community. So it's a lot of, I spend more time in meetings on Zoom than I have ever spent at meetings. It's amazing how many meetings
I've
we
been
do.
doing Zoom meetings like every day now.
Yeah, I have, it's not, no lie, from 9:30 to 5:30, I can spend on Zoom.
Well, thank you for fitting us in your busy schedule then.
All good. This is refreshing, talking to people.
Jessica, you have the next question?
Have you created a routine or anything for yourself then?
Routine. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't get, when they get up, they don't bother getting dressed, and they don't do, hey, I'll just stay in my pajamas all day. I don't believe in that, because if I don't, I may as well stay in bed. So the routine is basically getting up, cleaning up, and then sometimes I'll go on the computer for about probably a couple of hours and catch up on all the emails, and then I'll go and bake. And right now we're putting a patio garden in. So
Oh.
yeah. So otherwise,
Hey.
the routine, no.
Well,
pretty
I'm ready.
open.
I'm ready with my barbecue anytime. I'm just hoping I can invite people for barbecue, but I don't think it's gonna be for a while still. Oh, by the way, this is not wine. It's too early for wine. It's just cranberry juice with, sparkly
I was
water.
wondering.
No, I will not drink at this time. This is cranberry juice, I swear. Besides, this isn't a wine glass. This is a goblet, a drinking.
I've stayed drunk a couple times.
I put Bailey's in my coffee.
So, Caroline, you have the next question?
Yeah, with your current position, it calls you
Yep.
to still interact with the general public at some level. Are you guys able to be involved with any community programs and organizations working through this crisis for like our community?
I guess we could volunteer in that, and that's not a problem. And I thought of doing that, but then my grandson comes here, so I would never get to see my my grandson
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm kind of not going like volunteering outside the community. I do go in the car and I do go around and see what's happening in the community. If I go grocery shopping, which I go maybe once a week, that's my moments with the community other than going through the FaceTiming or on the internet and that. So I like to go out there and still hear what's going on too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't actually get down in there. And
Well, I heard over the radio that you still have to do is it the meeting like monthly, the city council meeting?
we actually do there's about 3 meetings. One we do with the emergency response in the community. We have a Zoom meeting. I am also, we have a council meeting, the committee of the whole meeting. So yeah, we still do our meetings. Legally we have to.
Yes.
And we do it through Zoom. We do it through Zoom.
But I heard over the radio you do it through Zoom, but bylaw stipulates that Shari, the mayor, has to be in City Hall to do those meetings.
That's changed a little bit now. The government has
Oh.
come out with a whole set of rules. So she actually does her Zoom meeting from her home. So
Okay.
it actually works. The only thing I miss is the interaction with the public that does come to the meetings and stuff. I really miss that. It's really impersonal, and I can't see people's body language. I can't.
No,
I
but
can't
we
make out
can
everything.
see you, Cindy, in outer space because you had outer space behind you at the meeting. Yeah.
And you know what? I thought it was kind of interesting when I started. I did that. It was only one time you saw that. And now
I've been watching them all. Yeah.
Yeah. And my daughter came home and said, "Why are you doing that outer space? You keep going in and out of, And I went, "Oh, why didn't anybody tell me I'd take it off?" I just wanted something different. I actually had a picture of City Hall behind me, but that didn't look right because then it looked like I was the only one in City Hall.
Yeah.
So we took that off and I put the spacey on, and then I went back to normal because of the public. And I guess that makes sense, but so here I am.
So I'm curious now because prior to this crisis, there was we talked about this sometime in the past. There was a $1 million budget for the improvement of 3rd Avenue and all that stuff. So all that's hanging now?
Well, the mayor is supposed to be the spokesperson for this city, and but I can say we did the second reading, and it's not taken away. It's just put off till next year.
Yeah.
Yes, and we put some money to the study of 3rd Avenue and different directions, and same as the signs and that. It's not going to not happen. It's just that.
Yeah, of course.
We have to go, what do we really need and what, our wishes and wants, because this is a time where people are having a lot of issues. So the budget is so far 1.07 is the tax right now. So that's pretty good. So we were able to take down $150,000. If you take $150,000 off the budget, it's 1%.
Okay.
Right? So it's a good thing. What council's doing is a good thing. And we need to look after what's happening here in this community. It's more important. And then we got recovery. So who knows what that picture will look like.
Yeah. Well, how long we're in this for too, right? Like our priorities have changed since beautifying uptown was on the table, right?
Yeah.
And everybody that has a small business, I've been a big advocate, and I send letters all the time. Even this morning, I sent advocate letters to the government about the mom and pop operations, businesses, and right now they're having issues still. I know people who can't apply for the new subsidy that the government's put out this morning because they are not limited. You know, like our business is a limited business. If you're not, and you're just a sole proprietor,
Then it depends on how long you've had it too. I'm a limited business, but I don't qualify.
yeah,
Right.
Because you
so-
only had steampunk for a while, right?
Yeah, not long enough.
And
So
Not
I've
that
been-
I want a loan, because I don't. I mean,
yeah, I
what
know,
about
because alone doesn't really help.
No, it's
No.
just another
They
payment.
should give a grant or some kind of subsidy or something. Not a loan. A loan doesn't help.
well,
We're
they
talk-
are looking at rent subsidies,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah, rent subsidies.
who knows what that's going to look like, and what kind of criteria it's going to have. It's not out there. So I've been working with the BC Restaurant Association as well as the tourism, and as I'm talking to you now, they're having a meeting, and I already sent my 2 cents worth in to them, and I've sent it to the premier. You know, I just been advocating a lot.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you have any idea what the situation is like here in Port Alberni based on any information that you've collected?
Well, the
We're
Chamber
kind of in the dark, right? We have no.
The Chamber of Commerce and the City of Port Alberni are really working on this, and that's going to be part of our recovery. I know a lot of people are hurting. I know some people that said, I'm closing, I can't do this, right? But they're
Yeah.
going to give it one more try and see what happens. Because you, as a small, everybody's got small businesses in this community, and that's how we operate,
Yeah.
other than the bigger businesses. But
Well,
if you don't
a big chunk of our economy in the valley is from small businesses.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you don't have the traffic, you don't have the cash flow, and the cash flow means you can't pay bills, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and there was no warning.
Well, and the loan just starts later, right?
Yeah. And the loans really kill me because you're going to have to pay it back, and deferring payments, you're going to have to pay back.
Yeah.
So what do you do from there, right?
I have noticed though, a lot of small businesses become very creative.
Yes, they have.
Like salmon berries, you can pick up. They deliver. Jessica's place, you can still get your hair color from. We've done food boxes. I did a funk trunk clothing party last night. Like,
Oh, yeah, I
it's
bought some stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing the creativeness though that's come out in people.
Well, we have to. Otherwise, what are we going to do with all our merchandise and with everything? You know, it scares me. It worries me about the future. We're going to be seeing things done differently from now on.
Oh, yeah,
So-
definitely.
Everything's different. So my grandson just brought me telling me there's a poster here. So, but yeah, no, so the world is not going to be going back to normal when
No.
it's all said and done.
Oh, no,
I think-
definitely not.
I think we're going to be doing, even in our business, we're going to have sanitation, you know, like when you come in, there'll be where you wash your hands, even though the bathroom's right there, but it's going to be right in your face. We're just going to do life really different.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
And I
that
think-
conversation yesterday, my business partner and I, about like what it's going to look like when we open and what services as like a salon and spa that we might want to just let go of altogether and not do anymore because of
Mhm.
sanitization and the cost of that sanitization.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I heard over the news that even like small restaurants and even established restaurants that have been long-time fixtures in the Vancouver landscape are gonna close and will not be able to open again.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I can only imagine how much the rents are over there though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know how much our rent is and it's crazy, but to be in Vancouver and have to pay rent on a
Mhm.
closed business, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna kill a lot.
Well, even in Port Alberni, you're going to find a lot of changes there too. You know, they're struggling. And you got to remember, even when we closed, we had a lot of stock because it was stock day, right? And what do we do with all this stock? Our freezers are still full. Right now, we're taking advantage by renovating the whole restaurant, right?
Yeah,
Because we
we're in the
would've had
same
to-
boat. We got a huge order the day we closed, and
Yep.
I gave it away to the staff. I didn't know what to do. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't. We weren't doing produce boxes then, so at the time I'm like, what am I going to do with all this fresh food?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm
happy.
finding more and more, but even the association said things are changing, and the government says the same thing. What scares me is who's gonna, all this money we're getting from the government, how is it going to be paid back? We're all paying for it through our taxes, so how do we pay it?
Well,
And
it's my understanding that the people that are getting this $2,000 a month, that $600 of it will go back, and they'll pay it back at the end of the year in taxes.
Yeah.
So a lot of these young people, they might not realize that, and then they're going to have a huge debt.
Yeah.
Is that $600 a month or $600 at the end of the year?
No, $600 a month. So
Out of-
you don't need 2,000. You only get paid 1,400.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so you have to put aside $600 a month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to
Okay.
remember, if that was a check, right, and an employer was paying you that, they would have taken off all the taxes that were necessary
Yeah,
on
the
$1,000.
CPP and the EI and the
And that's
taxes and all the stuff.
That's really scary, because I collect that 2,000 too, and I take away 400. I actually take 400 off and automatically put it in a savings. And if you pay too much, you got to remember, it's like having a savings account. You'll get it back
Yeah.
if it's too much.
Yeah.
Now,
Uh-huh.
is EI the same?
EI, okay, so what the government said to me is that you get this 2,000 after 16 weeks, it finishes all this. Then you switch over to EI, and then
Because
the
I
EI
get regular EI. I didn't get the
Oh.
$2,000 a month.
Okay.
So do I have to still keep a percentage of my EI?
Now I'm hearing that they take it off, but you know what? I would make a call and ask.
Okay, because it's
Just
not $2,000.
Make a call. Good luck with that. You can't get through the phone.
Well,
I
it will be a
spent-
different department.
18 hours on hold, a total of 18 hours on hold for Shock Cable this week.
Oh my God. And
Wow.
that's not even government.
But I got through.
When I spoke to Service Canada, I went, oh my God, it only took me 2 days and 4
Oh my
hours to
God.
talk to someone. That was, and the
Serious? 2 days?
you phone at 3 o'clock, and then they cut off their phone because they're closed at I think 4:30 or 5:30, but they're still in the office till 7. So anybody that's been on the line waiting, they keep you there, and then they'll answer the phone. That was the
Oh
secret.
my.
So not all the time, but but it's
Well, I was
interesting.
calling at 5 in the morning or 8:30. They open at 8:30, isn't it? 8:30 Eastern
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work. So, I feel bad for the kids that are, it'll be interesting how parents are handling the teaching kids at home.
Oh, good.
'Cause
Oh,
I
Well,
remember
that's the way
not
it was in the
going-
beginning, wasn't it?
Thank you.
In the days
But-
of the pioneers and the whatever, it was homeschool, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I am
but
blessed that my children are adults.
I agree. Jess, you're lucky your son's not old enough yet.
No, hanging out with him every day definitely has its moments. I am a working mom. I'm not a stay-at-home mom. There's a reason why I didn't take paternity leave.
Yeah.
So it has its moments, but I'm just taking it for what it is. And
So
so-
aside from the government, the federal government, is there money coming from the municipal government as well for some stuff around the community?
Well, the municipality has put away, the council has put away $200,000 for recovery, and what recovery is, we don't know. So that will have to be determined what it's going to be used for. We've done some other initiatives too, like for late payments and stuff. So you're not going to be charged the interest in that. So when it's all said and done, you'll see it all written out, and the community will get to know what we're doing. But again, the 200,000, we have no idea, the recovery for it. So that'll be put together by an organization, a group. How it will look, we don't know yet.
Okay.
We're still in discussions. So
Right.
So, and Sherry, our American, can confirm it. And that would probably, this is my grandson who's joined me. So
60. I'm kidding.
it's part of the family here now. This is why I'm home with
Okay.
them, otherwise I'd never see them. And
Well,
I
count
feel
your
bad.
blessings, because we haven't seen our grandkids.
I know. And that's
Oh.
the thing, there's a lot of families who haven't seen the families. I really worry about out there. My sister and her husband in Kamloops both had the virus. And
Oh, really?
yeah, so it was pretty bad. And I think about all the families that don't get that opportunity to see their loved ones who are sick or worried about them in other countries and stuff like that. But yeah, my sister had it pretty bad. So did my brother-in-law.
Are
And
they okay now?
they seem to be. They've recovered, and it's interesting. They weren't tested, but they had all the symptoms. They could, when she talked to me, she couldn't breathe or anything like that. So
What did they do?
they were in bed. They were in
Okay.
bed. They were 3 weeks. I'm talking. They were there for 3 weeks in bed.
Oh,
So, and she works for a care home, but she says that some of the care homes are one person had the virus, and what happened is that they said, no, we're not testing that person because she's only cooking, but the cooks give the food to the care aides who give it to the seniors.
oh my.
So how can you not test them? So, and then I have a son who's in Louisiana, who's a doctor, and he says it's the worst place. So,
Louisiana is one of the hardest hit.
yes, yeah. And I worry about him all the time. Like, I actually asked him to call me every day. He stopped calling. He's off for a week, so he'll call me in when he starts back up again. So he said the biggest thing is supplies.
Yeah.
Supplies,
You know,
medical
that's it.
supplies, you mean?
Pardon me?
And testing
Medical
people.
supplies?
The gowns, the masks,
Uh-huh.
and all that. He says that's the hardest. So so I worry about him a lot.
Well, I wouldn't want to be over there.
No.
No.
Well, my
And-
friend in Chicago, it's really bad. Chicago is ranked number 3 as far as the hardest hit. New York's number 1, and Chicago's number 3 according to him.
So,
Really
and it's going to
bad.
get worse. You know, it's going to get worse. So, you know, and you know, what's interesting is when you read all these, when the government comes in, and every morning we all watch what's happening on the news and that, and everybody's side comments really kill me sometimes. They're so silly, some of them, you know. The government's got a lot of things on their mind, not just on some of the things that they're saying. So I worry about that. Sorry. My grandson walked in.
Your assessment, I mean, we've done pretty good as far as Port Alberni is concerned, don't you think?
We are doing amazing. And I think the community, I just get a little upset when people really are nasty to people if they bring their kids, because there's single parents out there or single mothers, and they have no babysitter. What are they going to do with their kids, right?
Yeah,
they have to take them along. So I just think people need to not react as much. There might be reasons why people are. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and it was at No Frills, and couples were shopping together, but they have a big sign on their door: 1 cart, 1 person, right? No partners. And people, you can't go as a 2. So seniors, it could be that the wife does not drive, so the husband has to go. So I don't know, maybe he had to sit in the car, but they were telling them, hey, we only do 1 person at a time here. So, I mean, we're all scared. And the problem is we don't know if the virus is here. So I don't think.
We haven't had any cases that you know of in Port Alberni? Because I did hear that there was some sent to Nanaimo or Victoria.
There's been so many rumors out there, and people are scared of the unknown, I believe. This is my personal belief. And I think they're not saying, they just say the virus is here on the island. You have to accept it might be here, right? Yeah. I believe it was 95. You have to believe it's here. But I think people need to know where, if it's in your community, because then you'll believe it.
That's right. Well, I had a conversation at the grocery store. I kid you not, an hour ago, a lady she was a retired nurse that came out of retirement and was working in the hospital again. And she was just so frustrated that people weren't respecting the social distancing. And you could just tell she was totally at her wit's end. And I was just like, well, why doesn't the municipality or the government just tell us that it is here, it is in town, and that there is a certain amount of cases, so people do take it seriously?
Well, as far as on my end, we haven't heard.
Yeah.
They just say you have to assume it's here.
And
Any
we
of the
should
meetings.
assume, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, even if it's
But-
not here, like, you know, I'm just hoping Port Alberni survived a tsunami. We will survive this.
Port Alberni has survived a lot.
A lot, right? And we
But
will
unfortunately,
survive
it's
it.
hitting us a lot. Like we've had people unemployed because of the strike, right?
Yeah.
Then we thought, okay,
Mhm.
we're ready to go again. And then comes this virus, which we have never seen anything like that, but a tsunami is just as bad to me.
Yeah.
And now we're going into this, and now we're going to come out of it. And how do we go? Biggest thing I can't understand is how that American dollar can go up and up and up and keep going.
Really?
So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
up there.
Either
With
up or
every-
down, down.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
With everything that's happening in the world, I think when this is all said and done too, I think we all need to work together to make us go forward in this community.
Yeah.
The businesses.
Well, one thing
and-
I observed in the community is, like, I myself have experienced it personally, the kindness of the people in the community. It's just, I'm gonna cry. Anyway, somebody brought me some turkey dinner the other day, and then,
I saw that.
yeah, right. So it was just so touching. I was posting I'm making deviled eggs, and he came by and he said, "Oh, I saw in your post you didn't have turkey for Easter, so I brought you some turkey." And it was with a strawberry parfait as well, a jar of strawberry parfait.
People
Well, I think
are great. I had a lady.
The people in Port Alberni are just have a big heart. The whole community has a big heart.
I had a lady yesterday message me, and she wanted to buy another veggie box for Ty Watson. And then I had another lady that messaged me. She wanted to buy our senior box and have it donated. Like, people are just, they're generous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I think Port Alberni's always been that, like carry it forward, like
Yeah.
I think since I've been off, I made about 30 loaves of French bread and I've given them away.
Oh,
Somebody
wow.
will make a comment on Facebook, I'll drive it over since you've been making such great comments, right? What am I going to do with 30 loaves of bread? I'm trying to avoid it.
We like it. Just saying.
Yeah. I've never made the French bread before, but I bought the proper pan.
Actually,
for it
that
and
was
thought
an
I'd try
idea
it.
of mine. We should start like a food trade, something going on. Like, I made this, I'll trade this with your banana bread, I'll give you my deviled eggs or something like that. We should be like, but that might spread the virus.
Uh-huh. Well, my daughter has said, don't do any more baking. We don't need it.
Oh,
So, yeah. So, but everybody is like
does.
that. Well, look at yeast is a big thing in Port Alberni right now. You can't
well,
buy
I've got
any.
lots.
I do
Oh, there
too.
you
So,
go. Don't say that. This is going to be posted. You'll
Yeah,
be hunted down.
well, we even had a restaurant call because they didn't get their supplies in, the takeout restaurant,
Oh,
and
yeah.
asked if we had some things, which we did. So, yeah, it works that way. But it's interesting. And it's interesting how meetings are being done too by Zoom or whatever
Mhm.
app they're using, because for distant meetings, this might cut down on a lot. I can see meetings changing for
yeah.
everything.
Things are done 100%. This is it.
Yeah.
Forward.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Cindy, for taking the time to do this interview with us for the Wave.
Oh, you're welcome.
And as a parting message, would you have any encouragement to tell our viewers?
Just be safe and just respect everybody else. Everybody
Mhm.
else has their own opinion. Just respect it, whether you agree to it or not, right? I mean, we're not all perfect and people are scared. Just don't think you're scared. And,
That's true.
and we're all scared of the unknown. So just be safe, everybody. And you know what? There's services, a lot of services out there that can help. Call them. If you're in a crisis, call. We'll find someone for you. And I've had people do that. Email me. How do I do this? Oh, I need some help. Just call.
Is there
We're
a
there.
crisis line we can call?
There's a crisis
Yeah.
line, and there's also mental health that can help. There's the churches are out there that will help
Mhm.
you. There's ways around for anything. If you feel like you're going to be homeless, we'll call. We'll figure it out. Or if
Yeah.
you're hungry, we'll figure it out. There's people out there that's willing to come out and help you.
So if they can't call, where could they go? Could they go to the Salvation Army maybe, or a local church?
Go.
Is there any help? in
Any
City
of the
Hall?
local churches will help. Go out there. Go to the crisis center. Go and talk to them. there's the shelter, there's the Women's Resource Center. There's so many helps. If you're not sure, call the city. We'll help you get from A to B, and call a church and explain, or call friends. Friends are there to help you too. If you don't know and you're worried and you don't want to talk to anybody, call a friend.
Yeah. Well, I guess at a time like this, we are all in this together.
Yeah.
And so since we're all in this together, the thing is to be kind to one another, because we're all in this together. It doesn't help to be critical or judgmental or, negative about the situation. There's always something to be negative about. There's always something to complain about, but there's more to be thankful for.
Well, and you're alive. That's the important thing. You are still going forward, and just don't think like everybody sitting here that I'm talking to are all have bills to pay, and we're not getting paid from our own, from working. And I hate not working. And just you're laughing because I work a lot. And the funny thing is that we're all in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I know.
And that's important to remember. We are all in the same boat. I wish I had money and I could not have to worry about that. But yeah, I have bills
Maybe
too.
somebody from Port Alberni will win the lotto and I'll distribute the wealth.
I wish. That's a dream.
What was the last price? 70 million, I think. That's enough for the whole population.
Yeah.
The lotto is going crazy right now. Everybody's buying a lotto ticket.
Oh, I don't even want to go in the store. Like, no.
Well, you can check your ticket online. There's a.
You have to buy it in the store, though.
You can buy it online, I think.
You can buy it online too. You can buy a lotto ticket online.
But they're not selling all the lotto tickets anymore because they don't know if they're going to have lottery tickets.
Oh, really?
A draw or something. That's what I was told, because I do buy lottery tickets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lottery, you got to remember, lottery tickets, the money goes to charity anyways, part of it.
Oh, okay.
And it does come to Port Alberni too. So there's a good thing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're out of time. The free account of Zoom only allows you 40 minutes. We're over 35 minutes. We're almost 40 minutes. But thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining me in this interview.
Say bye, Harvey.
All right.
Okay. Ciao from Harvey.
Ciao, everybody. Be safe, be healthy, take care, and be kind to one another. That's my last message.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
I have to check the recording.